Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hi. What is my name? Oh, my name is Lenore Von Stein, and this is an episode of The Facts. And I'm here tonight with Andrew Bolotowski and Beth Griffith. And this is about making art. I call it thinking and making art. And so this is a rehearsal. We're going to rehearse what we're going to then shoot in about 2 minutes after we finish rehearsing. And so when I think about this, one of the issues, I mean, I've been an artist all my life, struggling, crawling around on the outside, but really on the inside of me anyway. And art is often under the control, or usually or always, I'm not quite sure, under the control of the establishment, whatever the established powers are, real or commercial, and they're spinning their tails and they're organizing and I used to, I watch a lot of TV, and I used to know when I went through periods of commercial TV would make me sick, make me stupid, make me feel unhappy. And the reason that I knew this is because when I stopped watching it, I felt a lot better. That was how I gauged it. You know, art can make people feel more comfortable with themselves by giving them insight, or it can distance people from themselves by commercial art does that a lot, you know, by you know, people think, oh, I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not a good enough person, I'm not sexy, whatever that is. Okay, we're going to practice a tune I wrote called Guitar, and the guitarist is not with us tonight, but we're gonna work on this tune called Guitar. And okay, let's try this. Should I count it off?
Sure.
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 One.
Wait, Andrew, are you going to play
Absolutely.
the intro?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
One. Okay, here we go.
I should have heard.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dogma.
As a child,
I die Let's not say
let's not say what I think is pretty crude.
quiet.
Compared
While singing, linked to an eyeball partially shaped to your culture devoid of reason.
Okay, I got behind, then I found it, and you know, and this is sort of complicated music that I'm writing here. because somebody asked me after somebody saw the last show, I said, where did you come up with this music? How did you come up with this music? And I said I came up with it note by note, and she really didn't appreciate that answer. And when I thought about it, of course, I can understand why she didn't appreciate it, but I don't know how I come up with it. I mean, it's what I hear, you know. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Hold on. Wait. Uh-huh. Okay. Give me a chance to wet my whistle.
Let's not say anything. Let's just sit here and be quiet while we sing linked partially shaped by your culture, devoid of reason.
Well, I made other mistakes there, but I think they worked better.
Okay.
And that's how I write this music, really. I'm writing, I come up with some idea, some little motive, some little, or what something, usually not that long. And then I mess with it and I change it and I invert it and then I go along until I think, oh, this is so boring and can I do something else here and what is this about and, do I need this? And these are the constant questions. And then I go to sleep thinking, oh, I found an answer and it works very well. And again, in the mornings it doesn't work well at all. And that's the story. And finally get to the end of solving that particular problem. And that's the end of the piece of music. Because, I could mess around with it forever, but I got to go on to something else. So I thought, okay, it's solved for now. I got as far as my little brain could take me right now, my brain and skills and, the combo,
Can I say something?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is simply the most natural expression of composition or the compositional process that I've ever heard in my life. Okay.
Thank you. So, listen, let's go back to the establishment controlling the arts, and art is the example of how we're living and why we're doing what we do and who we are, and I know that these rich people, aka the establishment, I know they can, really ruin my life. There's no doubt about that. And, so 1,000 years ago or more, there were more despots and there were fewer despots and more people under their heel.
Yeah.
So I think what's happened is it's democratized just a taste. Just it's like opening up like a dark hole in space or something, and there's a few more people inputting, but okay. So we think, for instance, often, and I get caught up in this too, that good art will out. That if it's good art in the end, it'll come through. But I don't know. I mean, who knows? Justice doesn't prevail. I mean, pieces of it prevail after long struggles. But in the USA, circa 2013, when we're doing this. Truth seems to be really an absurd, old-fashioned commodity, and it's not polite enough and it's not cruel enough. It just doesn't fit in. Let's look at, what's the next thing I said we were looking at?
Next to new.
Next to new, something that's not quite new, but next to new.
Next to new.
Okay, and I don't sing in this one. That's
Okay.
good. So I'm going to count it off for them. So we're going.
Right. I will give you the cue.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Okay.
Oh,
thank you.
so this thing about the cue, the way that
Yes.
we've been working here, this cue stuff is to actually set the tempo so that we can move seamlessly from improvisation to the piece of written music, which is not what we're doing in this rehearsal. But when you watch the episode, you'll see our seamless stuff. You know.
That's
Okay. So next to new, I'm not going to do anything.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
No, I enjoyed that.
Would you buy it? Even if it's not new?
I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I mean, I try to get rid of as much of as much as not necessary. You know, if it's not necessary, and this is something in the composing or writing process that is it's very important. And I've been doing this many years now, and I've learned this for a long time. Like I keep things, I still do it. I keep things. I think, well, it's sort of okay. I sort of like it. I sort of like it. I sort of like it. It's like finally throwing something out of your closet. You know that you know, and then afterwards, well, no, I don't really like it. You know, or I don't like it enough. So 86 it. You know, and that's what I do. And the stuff becomes, well, that particular piece became sparser that way. When I was in music school and composition school, I had a teacher who told me that I can't have all these silences. You can't have all these silences. You can't have all these silences. That's it. You know, and I don't know what she was, but I don't know why not. And recently, I have made a couple of collages of on the Facts, this TV show that you're watching. We have these 3 different kinds of episodes. We have these rehearsals that you're watching now. We have the finished product, more finished product, and we have discussions between myself and other people on topics that are of interest to me. And so I've started putting together these collages. I've done 2 of them. One of them is finished. One of them is almost finished. About working with Scott Henkel, one of the people on the crew, putting together slices of conversation and music, conversation, and not my conversation with other people sitting around a table. So it's really quite jarring. And but anyway, I saw one of them the other day broadcast, and it made me so happy. Because I really think it was a step in a direction that's exciting. I don't know what that is, but it's real movement, and that's very important, I think, for artists to be able to trust enough, or whatever it takes in that particular personality, throw caution to the wind enough, or whatever it is, so that they can move forward into territory that they have got no chart for, and that's what gets in the way of what the problem is for most artists, is that that's very hard to do, and most of the people around you don't want you to do it, aside from you not wanting to do it. But there's a lot of real succulent peer pressure as well as pressure from, if you're making money off this stuff. But even if you're not making money off it, there's real pressure, and so it's abandoning that and taking off in a direction that may be ugly for a while, or creepy, or whatever, however you label it. You probably label it quite differently than other people, or but you that's really important. I mean, and that's the and it doesn't. After a while, it doesn't take courage. It just takes knowing that it will reap benefits because you've done it enough. So artists really get better as they go along, in my opinion. At least I have. They don't. I'm not Mick Jagger singing the same song I did 40 years ago. At all. So there's a difference in the fine arts and in the commercial arts. Let's look at something else. Let's look at, what's the next thing I said we'd look at?
Criteria.
Criteria.
Okay, hold on.
As in, what are the criteria? This name of this show is the facts, as in, what are the facts? People are always telling you there's the facts, there's the facts, the facts. What are the facts? And what are the facts made up of? They're not just, this microphone, but the sound that I'm feeding through this microphone. It's not just my hand or my face, but the feeling that I get when my hand touches my face, this sensation. These are all facts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear criteria.
Okay.
You want me to count? You don't need me to count it off, right?
Well, I can
What's
do-
the cue?
You.
First I'm a guitar, and then I'm
you're
a flute. Yes, exactly. So, to everybody out there, just close your eyes and,
Yeah.
as I say, you won't know the difference. Okay, here we go.
How can I judge? There is so much I don't know, and I don't want to take the time. But where's the circle?
Quite clean. Clean. I think we do pretty good endings. We're pretty good on endings, and I think a lot. This is something also true in modern music. I mean, when I first got into music, and I was singing. I was singing with bebop players, and they had some good endings too. But often they had these like old show business endings, and it's not like this. They wouldn't go da 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 da, But it was a more sophisticated version of that, And I hear that in classical music too. I mean, da 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 da. We get to an ending. We have to have an ending. But what's in modern composers have and good composers throughout time, not just modern ones. The endings are, why do we get there? What is it about? And, is it just, oh God, I can get off the stage now, or is it good? And what makes for this goodness? What holds up this goodness? Is it its relevance to what just happened before? I heard a piece by Beth's husband, John McGuire, a very long piece, and it was very, very long, and I got lost from time to time, and then it got to the end, and the ending was so boffo, it made the whole piece fall into place, the beauty of it, that is extraordinary. I've spent my life outside of to some extent outside of the recognized artists of my time, and maybe that's where I'll always be, I don't know, but usually I don't think about it. But I do have moments where I wonder about the value of what I'm doing, But what can you do with that? And then you just kind of it's motivating as well as alarming, and so that's the story. So let's try something else.
Okay.
What's the next thing we were talking about?
Alfred Hitchcock construction.
Okay, I said this before because we've done this piece many times for those of you who watch the facts. I really like the way Alfred Hitchcock puts together his story. Some of his films really reflect this, I think, and I don't know what I like about it except it's well, it makes sense and it's easy to follow and it's engaging and it's some of it's very revealing. And one of the things that I was writing about here are these love scenes between Cary Grant and Grace Kelly in To Catch a Thief. Some of them, which are really, I think, very insightful little dances between people. In this case, a man and a woman trying to feel each other out, to trust each other, to find each other in the atmosphere. Okay, that's what they're doing, I think. It's called flirting.
Okay. Beth, it's all you.
You give it. You breathe the air into it. Though.
Well, but it's...
Oh, that.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Soprano has the cue.
Yes,
Okay.
Soprano's the cue.
I'm gonna open the window.
It's the second one where you hear this little doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo at the end. I guess I like them.
That's what you wrote. You wrote it because you wanted to.
Yeah, I wrote it because it's, and trying to find an ending, and so these shows, and not only when we do these shows, but when we perform live, and we've been working together for quite a long time, we do this combination of improvised and composed music. We move from one to another, and the improvised music is well, it kind of enlivens the work, and the composed music. I composed the music. I started, in fact, composing music for improvisers to put something in their ear I wanted them to have before they got to their improvisation. I wanted to fill their ear with something. I wanted, and they could go from there.
It's kind of like a great river, but we need stepping stones to get across it. You can't, right? And your composed pieces are like the
I'm the stepping
solid stepping stones.
Okay. So by the time you hear by the time these composed music hit the ground, as it were, they have been worked on over and over and over and over and over. I mean, note by note by note. It's the 350th draft. No, maybe not, but it's like the 40th draft or something. And the improvisations, of course, are always the first draft, like impressionists. Kind of. Because first drafts can be, embarrassing, or they can be really boring. They can be revealing. They can be both boring and revealing, and maybe that's part of what the Impressionists were about, in a way, is the stepping your foot into it, not preparing the ground in the same way. The truth that comes from the first impression. What do I know? So let's play something else. Let's play, what's the next thing we're going to play?
Losing weight.
This is something I'm engaged in, and it's quite an engagement.
Okay.
But it's happy making. Happy
Beth.
making. Let's play this
Okay.
Let's play this.
All right. The window.
Sir, habits. Breakfast in. I just want to say this one last thing, because we're almost finished here. What have I also been thinking about? I've also been thinking about the endless criminality, the criminality of the powerful, and how to overcome this, and does this criminality come out in other ways, like a hose with holes.